Hey guys, Carter Fit here. So this week we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to hit our topic of the week first in this video, and then at the end we're going to hit a shoulder workout. So what supplements are actually worth your money? For those of us that are budget conscious like myself, it's important to spend our money wisely, choose the supplements that are going to benefit us the most. I'm going to go over the ones that I personally take, which are going to be creatine, whey protein, a multivitamin, and pre-workout. And then I'll go through some ones which I think can be beneficial to some of you. And then we'll go through some supplements that I think aren't worth your money at all. So first things first, creatine monohydrate. What is creatine? Creatine is something that's naturally found in our body. It's actually found in our muscle cells. It's part of the phosphagen system. I'm not going to get too deep into the science behind it, but it's essentially the energy system for our muscles in the first 10 seconds of activity. Basically, our body uses what's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and when that breaks down, we have a form of creatine called phosphocreatine or creatine phosphate, which binds to ADP and it essentially gives it an extra phosphate group, which allows the ATP to regenerate and for our body to continue to produce energy. So creatine can be very beneficial. One of the many reasons why you should take it, it's going to increase strength. It's been proven in tons of research, tons of studies to boost strength. And indirectly, it's going to be able to boost muscle gain. It doesn't directly increase hypertrophy, but what it does, it allows us to progressively overload our systems in our workouts at a more exaggerated rate. That increased stimuli is going to lead to more muscle gain over time. Also, it leads to increased cellular hydration. So that means our cells are going to pull in more water. What that means is it's going to lead to a fuller look. For most people that want to put on size, that look is going to be extremely good. It can be really, really beneficial for those that are into bodybuilding, even strength athletes. But for those that are looking to get the size out of this product. So the type, creatine monohydrate, is the only one I suggest. It's the one that's got the most research behind it. It's going to be the one that's most beneficial. The price, you're looking at 10 to 20 cents per serving. It's very, very cheap. I do not recommend you load creatine. It's some type of exorbitant amount of grams per day. I know they recommend up to 20 grams a day in some cases. If you're going to load, I would only go 10 grams a day. After 3 to 4 weeks, your creatine systems in your muscles are actually maxed out. So what that means, even if you supplement with only 5 grams a day, after 3 to 4 weeks, the amount of creatine in your body is going to be the exact same. So don't feel like you have to load. It can be beneficial to increase creatine stores in the first 3 to 4 weeks. Not absolutely necessary to see the results long term. Alright guys, so let's go over whey protein real quick. Proteins are, at least from whey protein, naturally found in our milks. It's going to be made up of about 20% whey, about 80% of casein. So when they filter milk, what they do is they use it and they're able to eventually produce cheese. The leftovers are going to go into some type of processing plant, which will then later produce some type of powdered whey material. The reason why protein is important, there's tons of reasons why protein is important, guys, but I'm just going to go over why it's important to people that are participating in resistance training. So for me, and for probably most of you, we're interested in protein's abilities to lead to less muscle soreness, increased recovery, more muscle gain. So I'm going to address those factors real quick about this specific supplement. So when we work out, our muscles actually micro tear, and what happens when those tears take place? We have amino acids and satellite cells that actually rust to the muscle site, and at that muscle site they're able to repair. Eventually those repairs lead to increased muscle size, which we know is hypertrophy. So the reason why we take protein is to boost recovery, is to decrease things like muscle fatigue and injury from a lack of recovery, and then to increase size of our muscles or hypertrophy. I do think that this supplement is necessary for me personally. You do not need a whey protein supplement at all if you get enough protein in your diet. However, it's difficult for me to get enough that I need, so I supplement with whey. I usually do 1 to 2 scoops a day. It just depends on what my meals look like, how much I have going on that day, but really 1 to 2 scoops should be enough. The average person needs to have a protein intake that matches about 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. For me, for a trained athlete, for someone that participates in really rigorous activities that's going to break down muscles really fast, I do suggest you take up to about 1 gram per pound body weight. That means me right now, I'm eating about 195 grams a day. That is not necessary for most individuals, but it is something I think allows me to live the lifestyle that I do and see the results that I do. So when you supplement, I recommend you do about 20 to 30 grams per serving. You can do that pre-workout, post-workout, as long as you have protein in your system that allows your body to begin the recovery process, the muscle protein synthesis, then you'll be okay. Alright guys, so our next supplement we're going to go over is a pre-workout supplement. It's not necessary for the average individual. I'm going to go over a few ingredients that are in most pre-workouts. I'll just address 5 of the big ingredients that you should look for. Obviously pre-workouts have a ton of ingredients. I know it's difficult to see, but they do have a lot, typically a lot more than I'll be able to go over in this video. If you're interested, just leave a comment in the descriptions and I can give you a quick explanation of what it is, what it does for you, and if it's important. So the first, the one that everybody cares about the most, caffeine. This supplement is actually really beneficial for most athletes. Caffeine is proven throughout hundreds, if not thousands, of research studies to have dramatic benefits for the average person. It's able to increase strength, decrease fatigue, and for most of us in the gym, those 2 things are going to be the most important. So for people that don't get enough sleep, for people that train early in the morning, late at night, caffeine can be really beneficial, and I do suggest that you supplement with caffeine. If you're going to, I suggest about 3 to 4 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So this pre-workout right here is about 325 milligrams. That's on the high side. You don't need necessarily that much, but I enjoy the caffeine that I get from it. The next ingredient that we're going to go over is going to be L-theanine. So this is actually going to help with mental alertness and focus, typically paired with caffeine in order to sort of negate the jittery feelings that you'll feel from it. But if you have a high dosage of caffeine, I do recommend you get something that has L-theanine in it. Next ones we'll go over, L-citrulline. This is typically considered a pump product, and what I mean by that is a nitric oxide booster. It's going to make you feel a pump in the gym, but it actually has been linked to increased training volume in workouts. So what that means is that yes, it is a good nitric oxide booster, but it also can lead to increased training volume, which obviously we know is good for hypertrophy and or strength. The next is arginine. Important, it's paired with L-citrulline. I'm not going to go through the science behind it, but our body actually doesn't take arginine well straight. So what they do is they supplement with citrulline and maybe small amounts of arginine, but those 2 are going to work together to produce similar results. And then the last we'll go over is beta-alanine. This one is typically found in almost every single pre-workout, and it's been known to be linked to decreased fatigue in the gym. So if you're someone that gets in the gym, works really hard, make sure you have those 5 ingredients. I do recommend them. I do think pre-workout can be a great product for you, but again, if you don't have the money to spend, it's not completely necessary. It just depends on who you are and what you're trying to get out of your training. Alright guys, so the next 2 that we're going to go over, multivitamin and omega-3s. Multivitamin I personally take. I think it is a great product for me personally, and I'm going to get into that. So first off, you need to get your vitamins and minerals, all your nutrients, from vegetables and fruits. I do not eat enough vegetables, and that is an issue that I know I have with my own diet, and because of that I supplement with a multivitamin. Now the reason why you shouldn't just not eat vegetables and not eat fruits and supplement with a multivitamin is because our bodies actually don't process these vitamins and minerals well. And what I mean by that is if you look at most supplements on the back, these things are going to have 1,000% uptake or amount that we need on a daily basis. The reason for that, our body isn't able to completely process at 100% the vitamins and minerals that are in here. So what happens is the uptake of these is relatively low, so they put a ridiculous amount in to make sure that your body gets enough for that day. Your body does a much better job processing and intaking the minerals and nutrients that you're going to get from your vegetables and fruits. So focus on diet first. Obviously, this is a last resort, but if you don't eat enough vegetables on a daily basis, I do recommend this product. If you're eating in some type of deficit, so if you're trying to cut, if your calories are really low and it's difficult to get enough food volume in to reach those nutrients and vitamins, this can be a great product. But again, it just depends on how you eat and then what you're trying to get out of your training. This typically is going to run you $10, $15 for pills that might last you 2, 3, 4 months. It's very, very cheap. It's worth your money if you're not getting the vitamins from your diet again, but it's up to you. So omega-3s. If you don't eat fish, I personally do not love fish. The omega-3s are essentially fats that are found in fish. What it has been linked to is a decrease in bad LDLs, which is bad cholesterol, and then an increase in high or good levels of cholesterol. So omega-3s can be very, very beneficial if you don't eat a lot of fish, if you don't get fats from fish. It has been linked to tightening the skin if you're losing weight or you're on a cut. It can be good for tightening the skin. It's actually been linked to increased receptivity of certain types of insulin or an insulin in your body. And what that means is it's been linked to decreased levels of diabetes. Granted, the research is still out on that. It's not a diabetes cure by any means, but it can be beneficial for anyone that deals with any type of insulin issues. And then with weight loss, there's a lot of people that swear by it for weight loss. The most important thing is the cholesterol and heart health. It's been linked to decreased levels of cardiovascular issues later in life. So if you're not eating enough fish, make sure you get some omega-3 supplements. They are very cheap. It's a very easy supplement to take. You'll take 2 pills a day, and it's easy. It's worth it for your health in the long run. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about 2 more supplements. I don't want to talk your ear off tonight, but I think they are very important. I think they do need to be discussed. So BCAAs, I feel like a lot of people waste money on BCAAs. They are not a bad product. They do have certain benefits in very certain contexts. What I mean is that some people can see benefits from BCAAs, but the average individual that takes them, that drinks them in the gym, that you see that has a gallon jug, drinking BCAAs, 3 or 4 scoops, they're not really seeing the benefits that they think they are. So what BCAAs are, branched chain amino acids. It's basically the most basic form of protein. That's what amino acids are. The BCAAs that typically are in products and that are considered the branched chains, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So what they are going to do, ideally, is to increase muscle protein synthesis, increase muscle growth, and decrease fatigue. Now, all of those are seen in very dramatic studies, and what I mean by that is it's going to increase muscle growth only if you're not getting enough protein on a daily basis. So if you're at a severe deficit in your protein numbers, BCAAs can be beneficial. It's only going to decrease fatigue in endurance athletes, and what I mean by that is activity that lasts a really, really long time. If you're training in rep ranges of 20, 25, up to 50, BCAAs can be beneficial for you for a decrease of fatigue. If you're in the gym for a long period of time, 2-3 hours, or you're a marathon runner, BCAAs can be really effective, but most people don't train that way. And I don't recommend you working out for 2-3 hours. So BCAAs can be a good product if you're training fasted, you're not getting enough protein in, you're an endurance athlete, but I don't think BCAAs are worth the money for the average consumer, for the average person, even myself. Focus on your diet first. BCAAs will not be mandatory. Next supplement we're going to discuss before we end this section of the video, test boosters, testosterone boosters. I feel like a ton of guys are looking for quick results. They hop on a test booster and they get really disappointed when they don't see anything. The reason because test boosters typically are grossly underdosed. And what I mean by that is most products or most things that are found in test boosters are underdosed to the point where it's not going to see any benefits at all unless you're taking a ridiculous amount of servings for that specific supplement. The other issue is, since not all products are cleared by the FDA, we don't even know if what's in those test boosters are actually doing what they claim to do. There's still a ton of research to be done on test boosters, but don't think hopping on a test booster is going to give you some dramatic results quickly, because it's not. I personally have never experimented with any type of test booster because I did my research before I supplement, but I have a lot of friends that are hopping on test boosters and they're shooting me text messages 2 or 3 weeks later because they're disappointed they're not seeing results, and I have to break their hearts, let them know they just wasted $20. So don't take a test booster because you think it's a quick fix. It's not. BCAAs, only buy them if you're training in those specific scenarios in which I've already mentioned. Just be careful. I don't want you guys wasting money. I want you buying the products that are best for you and most suited for your specific types of training, because that's really all we're doing, is trying to better ourselves. We all have different scenarios, circumstances. That means we're all going to be taking different supplements. So, quick recap. I take creatine, whey protein, I do take a multivitamin, and I take a pre-workout. I don't think all 4 of those are necessary for every single person. I think creatine is one that you should take if you're looking to increase size and strength. I think whey protein can be good if you have issues eating enough protein on a daily basis, which is difficult for me because I have to eat almost 200 grams a day. That is a lot. Multivitamins are good for those that don't get vitamins and nutrients that you need from vegetables each day, which is me. And then we have our last one, pre-workout. For those of us that are trying to get the most out of our training, strength athletes, even people that are looking specifically to train for hypertrophy, pre-workout can be a great product. It is going to be a little bit more pricey per serving, so I do recommend you look into it, find what you like. Obviously, flavors are going to be important. Just make sure you're not wasting your money. If you have questions, feel free to drop a comment, let me know. I'll discuss anything with you, and we can go over what you're taking, what you should be taking, what's going to work best for you, and what you're going to see results with. So today we're hitting a push workout. That means it's going to be primarily shoulders for me, a little bit of chest, maybe some triceps at the end. We're going to be hitting it today with Dylan Phillips.
What's up, guys?
So if you guys will, give my man a follow. We're going to put his Instagram information and YouTube information down in the description below. Let's get this workout. guys, so that's gonna be our full push workout tonight. We hit mainly shoulders, a little bit of chest. Hopefully you guys can take something away from this video. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed the supplement part in the beginning. I did my research. If there's anything you want clarification on, please do me a favor, drop a comment, let me know. Like and subscribe as always. I really appreciate you guys watching. See you next week.